and it is going to be Rob Collard versus Alex Martin with a very keen Ian Loggy right there behind the Mercedes as the lights change. We go racing then down towards Rich's for the first time. The Lamborghinis go toe-to-toe. Collard leads, he breaks late. Up into third place goes Richard Neary in the green Mercedes. Ian Loggy is fourth as they head up towards the Wilson hairpin, and Alex Martin on his toes looking to get round Collard. He tries the outside line into the hairpin, which is pretty brave. It's not going to work, but he does hang on to second place.
Yeah, Mike Smith, having a spin there, just looped around, but great start from the two Barwell cars as we see Ferguson down the inside of Balfe into turn number 3. Great move there. Hopefully Smith can get going just before the GT4s. Balfe now on the cutback. Ferguson had a big snap of oversteer, so he's going to lose traction. Looks like Balfe has got the inside. Matt Topham behind as well. Looking, Kevin Say languishing, isn't he? All the way back there. Would expect him to have a go. He did look into turn 2, but I saw him back out of it. They are now getting into single file formation. We're going to really see their true pace over the next 20 to 30 minutes of this stint. As we see the McLaren running wide there, giving the Fassetti run and to the Ram Racing GT4 McLaren a chance, and that is full position. It looks like Hopkinson could also go through. That was a tough run out of the last corner for the 95 car.
This is for third place. This is the Mercedes battle, and it is Richard Neary under attack from Ian Loggy. That margin has come right down, and Ian Loggy get a better run out of the corner. Tried to get up the inside, but Richard Neary has been around the block a good few times and is able to fend him off then as they make that run now up towards the right-hander of Oggies. On board with Ian Loggy then to the outside line, breaks late. He needs to get that switchback coming off the corner now, which he does, but that's going to put him on the outside line for the next corner into turn 3. It's a left, so Ian Loggy hung out to dry on the outside line. Petrobelli 5th and the Aston has dropped back as the two Mercedes AMG GT3s go toe-to-toe. Loggy up the curb, gets the momentum on this run down the next part of the circuit, but he's going to be on the outside line again. He's got his nose in front, breaks late for the corner. Neary back through. Loggy tries to get up the inside. Great racing between the two of them. Who says you can't overtake on the infield? Here they come, they're absolutely together. Loggy up the inside, and Richard Neary yet again closes the door, locks it, bolts it. There's no way through for Loggy, who opens the door instead for Petrobelli and for Sasha Kakan in the Audi. So Loggy loses a place to the Aston Martin. The Audi look up the inside going through Williams, can't quite squeeze by. Petrobelli, great opportunistic move, gains a place, and Ian Loggy, rather than gaining, loses out. Neary is in, Petrobelli is in, Loggy is in. So basically, the good pace that Barwell evinced has kind of cost them now because they've got to do an extra lap with the AM. The other car that has stayed out, Kevin Say, up into third place. Carl Cavers has stayed out as well. Drive through for number 20 Lotus. Driver change going on there. Ian Loggy gets out, Phil Keane gets in, and now you can see why we have these two separate pit windows, because it is so cramped in there. The garages are pretty tiny for a modern day big GT3 car. It's a place where precision counts, that pit lane. Barwell Motorsport, Mark Lemmer's team, 1-2. Look, the Mustangs have got themselves together now because Marco Signoretti goes round the outside of Jack Brown. He's ahead, he's done it. The Mustangs are together then, but the McLaren squeezes back up on the inside. Can't do it. Signoretti gets the drive off the corner. There, away goes 62. Which is the Ford Mustang that was started by Will Moore, and so it's going to be the Ginetta ahead of the Aston for the top two, but Seb Morris is going to be up into third place now in GT4, and then behind is 71 Charlie Robertson, former Ginetta factory driver himself, and there 61 goes by. That's the other of the Academy Ford Mustangs. Johnny Adam has a 1 second stop and go penalty for a short pit stop. So 700s under, a 1 second stop, but it's the drive time that really hurts. Now the only good news here is that it's not that long a pit lane. It's not like Spa, for example, or Silverstone. It's a much shorter pit lane. So as Joe Osborne's been making the point, it's about 22 seconds line to line. And let's see where that is going to drop that car to once it rejoins. Here is Matt Cowley up towards the timing line. Away goes the Ginetta, but that Mercedes is going to take over the lead, and the Ginetta took a long time to get going. Matt Cowley leads GT4.
So frustrating if they do get a drive-through penalty for being under the pit window like you've seen. I think they're going to have to. Here are the other cars. Morris and Robertson already at racing speed. Tomlinson having to get up to speed. He's been super fast all weekend, but that gap, I think, by the time they exit turn 2 is probably going to be a couple of seconds. It's going to be interesting where that battle goes.
Sandy Mitchell continues to hold sway. That is Zach Meakin in number 90 trying to go around the outside. Well, Jack Brown couldn't do it. Co-drivers Zach Meakin fresh into the car, renewed enthusiasm. Right there ahead of him is Eric Evans, the champion with Matt Cowley in GT4 last year. And there, look, is the battle between Freddie Tomlinson and Charles Dawson's car in the hands of Seb Morris. Bits fly.
That was amazing. That was the Mercedes badge off Morris. I think Mercedes AMG need to use that on an advert, that they can just depart parts and make it even lighter as a race car. But yeah, interesting to see again where this battle goes. We haven't quite seen the strengths of the Mercedes against the Ginetta. Tomlinson looking unfazed, Morris on the headlight flasher. He used to love that when we raced against it over in GT3. He used to infuriate me to a point where I'd just flash the rain light back at him and just tell him, like, this is just boring now. Save your thumb, and I'm just going to use my thumb to punch you later. But he's been quick, GT3 champion. Can he make it a GT4 championship as well this year?
And there's a drama for 61. So Eric Evans has got a problem.
Has he been hit? Is that the problem? What has it done? Has it run out of fuel because it's got so much horsepower? And I can't see anything super obvious as in training or didn't look lower on one side, as we see Hugo Cook getting in the battle here.
Can we just have a little bit of a hat tip for Hugo Cook, because he's flown under the radar like Sasha Kakad did in stint 1. That Audi is running in 5th overall. It is the only GT3 Audi on the grid. Hugo Cook, is he 19-year-old from Northwich, not far from Alton Park, going really well, mixing his season between World Challenge Europe in a Lamborghini, British GT in that Audi, and Hugo Cook going very, very nicely indeed, going around Richie's now as that car runs 5th. But look who's behind. Max Hesse, BMW number 15. He's never been racing in the UK before, never been to Snetterton, certainly. Right there on the back of Cook. So you've got a fight for 5th, and yellow flags waving around the circuit because of that Mustang that has stopped. Matt Cowley is in for his stop-go penalty. It is all happening with, bear in mind, less than 14 minutes to go. Time has flown. As there, look, up the inside line goes Tom Holland's Ginetta. He rubs alongside the Mercedes, number 17 of Luca Hopkinson. And don't forget, that 58 Ginetta is one that has got that recent track limit warning, as has, charging up the inside, Dan Vaughan in the Toyota. He goes through, he gains the place. That was a good pass, but again, he's got to be careful, as has Tom Holland ahead, because they've got that last warning then for track limit offences. Meantime, Charlie Robertson in that BMW then, sort of towering over the top of the Mercedes. Again, it's fascinating to see two very different style of GT4 cars, isn't it? That long-nosed, low Mercedes against the almost touring car style BMW. Right there behind in the hands of Charlie Robertson. They could not be closer, surely, as they come up towards bomb hole into the right-hander now.
Seb Morris is having to defend every single corner. Robertson's got the inside. He should have the inside for corner, but doesn't mean the move's done. Is there going to be contact? Seb Morris is fair, and he goes onto the dirty side, which meant he had to lift out the throttle even more. Robertson is done, and before Jamie Day arrived on the scene. Sandy Mitchell, if he slows down a bit, he will give these two cars another lap to battle, which I think is going to happen, actually. I said my boring prediction, it was going to be close, but Charlie Robertson has reeled Tomlinson back in. Former factory driver Robertson probably used to change the nappies of Freddie. You can see him, he's got the run. Sandy, back out of it, please. Give us one more lap, I beg you, please. Please, I think he's going to, but it's going to be tight over the line anyway. I think Robertson will be in the lead, so he would have wanted Mitchell to overtake. We get one more battle. They take the flag, but that isn't for them. They should keep racing. The teams will be screaming at the radio, keep pushing, keep pushing.
So Sandy Mitchell and Alex Martin win race 1 of British GT at Snetterton from the Collards. Ricky and Rob take 2nd. Sam Neary and his father Richard take 3rd, just ahead of Ian Loggy and Phil Keane. But that GT4 battle then gets one more lap. And it is just those two GT4 drivers that escaped it. And Freddie Tomlinson there. Now, does Charlie Robertson think, no, he's in the lead, that's why you don't see the BMW, he's done it. I was thinking maybe he backed out of it, but the reason you only saw the Ginetta was that Charlie Robertson has gone by. The one lap they really need to lead in the Ginetta, they won't do because they've fallen back behind an absolutely flying Charlie Robertson in that BMW.
Flying, yes, but that gap is too big. That's suspiciously big. I wonder if Tomlinson saw the checkered flag, hadn't been advised that it is for the GT3 leader right on his tail, and has lifted out of it, because that gap to me looked like it was well over a second and a half to 2 seconds. And it's really handed Robertson the race win in GT4, I think.
So as the Barwell team can celebrate a 1-2, Alex Martin and Sandy Mitchell, race winners, ahead of Ricky and Rob Collard, and then Sam and Richard Neary 3rd, Phil Keane and Ian Loggy 4th, ahead of Sasha Kakad and Hugo Cook, with John Ferguson and Max Hesse in 7th. Now, the winning GT4 car then, Charlie Robertson and Ravi Ramyeet's BMW, after a sizable shunt at Spa. Great way to bounce back ahead of Aston Miller and Freddie Tomlinson, with Charles Dawson and Seb Morris finishing in 3rd.